Greetings, MMA jobbers. What's up, guys? My name is TRT, and today we're going to talk about who is the hardest hitter in the lightweight division. So, in the current lightweight rankings, there are five fighters who hit really hard, and they are Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, and Michael Chandler. And today I'm gonna rank who hits the hardest. And honorable mentions are Dan Hooker and Ally Quinta. Now Ally Quinta has retired. He got knocked out by Bobby Green, and he got knocked out a lot just before he retired. But he hit hard. He hit hard. I think he hits harder than Justin Gaethje, because Justin Gaethje, I think he only has like 3 or 4 KOs in the UFC, but Ally Quinta, I think the striking skills alone, I would say Gaethje is better. But when it comes to pure punching power, I would say Ally Quinta hits much harder than Justin Gaethje, and I also think that Dan Hooker also hits hard. But the thing is, he's not lightweight anymore. He's a featherweight. I think he might be coming back up to lightweight, but as of now, he's not lightweight. So today I'm just gonna talk about Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje. So I would say the fifth hardest puncher in the lightweight division, in the current lightweight division, I would say is Justin Gaethje. Because I know there are a lot of people who think that Justin Gaethje is the hardest puncher in the lightweight division, especially because Khabib Nurmagomedov said Justin Gaethje, he hit like a throw. His kicks, his hooks, his uppercut, he hit like a throw. Just because Khabib said he is the hardest puncher that he's ever faced, I think a lot of people are gonna think that Justin Gaethje is the hardest puncher. But when you actually look at his fights, watch his fights, there's not many KOs, especially in the UFC. He couldn't KO Michael Johnson. He TKO'd him, but it was due to a knee. He couldn't even KO washed up Eddie Alvarez. He couldn't KO Dustin Poirier. The ones he actually knocked out are either they're out of their prime, or they're glass jaw rats. The one he knocked out with one punch was James Vick. We all know he's a glass jaw. The other one he knocked out, another one he knocked out was Barboza, and Barboza is kind of chinny as well. And another one he knocked out was Cowboy Cerrone, and Cowboy Cerrone, when he fought Cowboy Cerrone, he was out of his prime. So, and his chin was also deteriorating. So, and he couldn't even KO Tony Ferguson. I know Tony Ferguson has very good chin, but he hit him a lot for like 5 rounds, and he couldn't even drop him. Like Tony Ferguson gets dropped easy, and Justin Gaethje couldn't even drop him even once. He hit him a lot, and he couldn't even hurt him. And he also couldn't even hurt like Michael Chandler. He dropped him once with a slip uppercut, but he couldn't actually finish him. But as we all know, Michael Chandler is kind of chinny, and so that's why I think Justin Gaethje, although he does hit hard, he does have some knockout power, but I don't think he hits as hard as what people think, or as what Khabib says. So the fourth ranked hardest fighter, I think, would be Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira, although he is not known as a knockout artist, and maybe he doesn't have as many KO wins as Justin Gaethje, but I think he hits hard. I think the only reason I think Charles Oliveira doesn't have as many knockout wins as Gaethje is because he's a jiu-jitsu fighter. Yes, Justin Gaethje is a kickboxer, and Charles Oliveira uses he's more of a jiu-jitsu fighter than a Muay Thai fighter. And that's why I think that's the only reason I think he has less knockouts than Justin Gaethje. But I think he has a lot more power than Oliveira. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, he admitted, like after the fight, if you watch the Thrill and the Agony after UFC 270 something, after their title fight, Gaethje was like, "You hit hard as fuck." I mean, Justin Gaethje, he always says like I hit like a Mack truck, and for him to say that Oliveira hits hard, he hits hard as fuck. It means he really hits hard as fuck. And even after a few months, Justin Gaethje was like, he was the guy who hit me the hardest. And after just one punch, he was like, I was buzzed too much, so I couldn't do anything. So I think Oliveira. I mean, and also Oliveira knocked out like a Chandler with dropped him with a left hook, and then finished him. And Justin Gaethje couldn't finish him. I think that's why Oliveira hits harder than Justin Gaethje, and I would say the third hardest puncher in the lightweight division would be Conor McGregor. Although Conor McGregor haven't shown much in the lightweight division than he did in the featherweight division, I think he still hits hard. He had so many knockouts. I don't think he had a one punch knockout over anybody except for Jose Aldo, which is incredible. But I think that Conor McGregor, although he has a lot of knockouts, I think his knockout comes from technique more than pure power, if you know what I'm saying. I think guys like Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, they have pure power. They hit hard as fuck. But I think Conor McGregor, I think he hits hard, but I think the way he knocks out people, it's not pure power. It's I would say 60% technique. Like when I say technique, his knockouts come from counter shots. He doesn't just punch other fighters in the face and just knock them out cold. Whenever he drops people or whenever he KOs people, it's mostly it's from a counter shot, counter punch. And the thing about Conor McGregor is when he knocks people out, I mean, even when he's not knocking people out, I mean, when he's punching people, he aims for three spots: behind the ear, at the temple, or at the chin. He aims for the chin or the temple or behind the ear. That's the three main spots that he aims for. And that's why I think he hurts people. Not just because he hits hard. He hits hard, but I don't think it's pure power. I would say it's the where he hits and how he hits people. So I would say Conor McGregor would be the third hardest puncher in the lightweight division, and the second hardest puncher is Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier, I didn't know that he had much power before Max Holloway fight. I mean, he did have some knockouts, so I thought he had good power, but I didn't think that he had this crazy power. Like, he's the only guy ever to actually hurt Max Holloway and Conor McGregor consistently. So Conor McGregor, although now recently he's been getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier, but he's never been actually like getting hurt by other fighters. But Dustin Poirier is the only guy ever to consistently hurt Conor McGregor in the second fight and the third fight. And Dustin Poirier is also the only guy ever to consistently hurt Max Holloway in their second fight. Like, Max Holloway has a legendary chin, and Dustin Poirier was the only guy ever recently to ever hurt him consistently. So I think Dustin Poirier would be the second hardest puncher in the lightweight division. And the hardest puncher in the lightweight division, I would say, is Michael Chandler. Now, originally, I thought that Dustin Poirier hits harder than Michael Chandler because he had more UFC fights, so there are a lot more fights for me to analyze who hits harder. But I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and now I think that Chandler hits harder than Poirier because Poirier, although he hits hard, he always hurts people when he hits them. But the thing is, he's never knocked out someone with one punch. As far as I can remember, he's never knocked out anyone with one punch. But Chandler has. He has knocked out, I would say, at least three guys with one punch at Bellator and at UFC. He dropped Dan Hooker with left hook, one punch, and then finished him. Now the Dan Hooker fight, it could be because Dan Hooker had a crazy war with Dustin Poirier prior, but I think, even considering the fact that Dustin Poirier had a war with Dustin Poirier, I think Michael Chandler hits really hard. So I would say just because Michael Chandler has one punch knockouts, I think Chandler is the hardest hitter in the lightweight division. So in conclusion, I would say the number one hardest hitter in the lightweight division is Michael Chandler. The second one is Dustin Poirier. The third one is Conor McGregor. The fourth one is Charles Oliveira. The fifth one is Justin Gaethje. And then honorable mentions are Dan Hooker and Ally Quinta. So what do you think? Who do you think is the hardest puncher in the lightweight division? Leave your comment down below. Thanks for watching.
Well, you are good.
Legendary Polish Power.
Korean power also.